All right, welcome to episode 18 of the Small Talk podcast of the Smallegan Real Estate Team. Today we're with Joe Messina and Zach Smith. Joe and Zach have actually started a very unique venture called Second String Leather Company. So thanks for stopping by, guys, and tell me a little bit about how it all got started.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Zach and I are really big into hockey just in general. We played growing up, and I think we met
at the ice arena.
Yeah, at the ice arena about
of course.
12 to 13 years ago. And we've been friends ever since. And we were talking in the past about like how I work at Davenport. And so Zach went to Davenport, played hockey at Davenport, and I was his goalie coach at Davenport. And so we've sort of stayed connected, through that tie. And it's just, we've been going ever since, like just as friends. And then Second String started in 2019 officially.
Okay.
Yep.
But the idea came about in about 2018.
So why leather? Like, where did you get that idea? Like, why not hockey pucks or sticks or jerseys or something? Like, why do you decide on leather?
Because there's nothing out there like it, like we don't want to be the same old products out there. We decided to come up with something unique, and we've seen other products being made in a similar form with other sports. And so we were like, we could do that with goalie equipment. Like, heck, why not? I mean, old school stuff's made out of legit leather, and now obviously it's moved on to like synthetic type material now, but I mean it's still durable material, and it turns out amazing what we can do with it. Yeah. Our team is absolutely unreal.
So tell me about like one of the products that you offer. Like, what's your most popular thing?
Obviously with the leather goods, we have wallets, iWatch bands. We actually do bathroom bags, tote bags, almost anything really that you can think of. We probably make it. So we even do golf head covers that we've recently started to venture into.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What else? Belts, dog collars. Like, I mean,
we have room spray. We have
candles,
cologne, beard oil.
Yeah.
We pretty much have covered a lot, like from when we started it back in 2019 with just the wallets to where our categories have gone, 3-4 years later is pretty incredible, because you can literally come to our online store, and it's just, a great spot for gifts and just, buying things in general for yourself or loved ones, and just it revolves around the sport of hockey.
And authentic gear,
That's the unique part.
So where do you get your leather at?
Well, the leather, a lot of the leather that we get, we buy from different tanneries, but the actual like leather that's used for the wallets and keychains and bathroom bags comes from the goalie equipment and player gloves, and we're always hunting for the equipment. That's sort of like the fun part is just finding the unique gear and just finding the unique pieces that we get from like the National Hockey League or even the Grand Rapids Griffins, just trying to find unique pieces that sort of really like resonate with a Detroit Red Wing fan or a New York Ranger fan or Chicago Blackhawk fan. And we've had pieces we've done work with like a lot of the National Hockey League teams. So like Detroit, Nashville, LA Kings, we've done work specifically with them in their team stores. So it's been nice to sort of see like how the pieces have gone like to their actual team stores that we don't personally sell on our website. They're more sold in their stores.
Okay.
And we've done some stuff with some foundations as well. So it's pretty unique to see how this stuff sort of like with the idea of like where it started to where it's at now is way bigger than we've ever anticipated when we had this idea back. Zach, and we always chuckle because Zach called me at like 2 a.m. and he's like, I got the idea. He's like,
That's when the genius happens, right?
And that it truly is. It's like, you said hockey puck, and it was funny because I think like one of the first ideas was like hockey puck cufflinks, and I was like, that's not going to do anything. And then so that sort of like kept the ball rolling, and then one day we were like, that's it. And I think you said we were at Art Prize or something. I don't know where.
Yeah, I think we were at Grand Rapids Art Prize when we were like kind of like
brainstorming
stuff of like just throwing things around, and just nothing was sticking in our brain. And
okay,
and then just we saw something and we were just like, okay, that's kind of unique, and didn't really think about it right away, honestly. And
I think when you came up with that that thought, it took like us a long time to like get it going. And then like, I think one day I just called him like, dude, we're going in. Like we're gonna do this idea. Like we're not gonna put it on the back burner anymore, because it probably
it was for a good year.
That we like just hemmed and hawed about it. But the tough part is, finding someone that's and to us, like our pieces that we make are works of art. They're not just like your run of the mill wallet that you're gonna go find at the local store. Okay. These are handmade right here in Grand Rapids. We have an artisan team of 3 people that's all they do is make our wallets. And I mean, it's literally year round. So we usually do about 3 collection drops a year. And so there's close to 1,000 pieces per drop. The holidays is a little bit more because of just the nature of the, absolutely. Yeah. So there's, which I take great pride in, and I know Zach does as well, is like how many sales we've made since we started, because we have a lot of repeat customers. So that you're making good quality handmade products when you have a repeat customer, because we don't have an actual like brick and mortar store. We're more online.
Yeah.
So
a lot of businesses are that way now.
Absolutely. And so if someone, they go look at something on our website and they get it in the mail, I think it's almost nicer when you like open up our box and it's like all wrapped, and it's like just from a marketing standpoint, it's just you're getting like that experience.
Yeah, packaging super important.
It is. And we spent, Zach and I spent probably over a year like designing our package and like really expanding on our package and just trying to like give it life. But when you're buying a wallet that's $100 to over $400, you want that package to sort of even be better than the wallet itself. So you have that wow factor when you pull it out of the box for the first time. It's like, this is an experience of me like really buying something
special.
And it's almost like an heirloom. Like these are wallets that you're going to have, what we'd like to think, you're going to have them for a long time, maybe pass them on to a family relative, or it's something that you have for years on end.
Yeah. So do you take special requests? Can someone like reach out to you and have an idea of something they want and you can make it for them, or do you not work that way?
Yeah, we just started our custom program about 2 years ago, and it's really grown a lot in like the last probably year. And that'd be like, say you had a pair of goalie pads from your high school career, or maybe like a glove and blocker from maybe your grandfather or dad.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even think about that. And like the history, right?
Yeah, so there's like, the histories and memories and just even stories that you have or your family has. And we've taken those pieces and we've made custom pieces. And we just finished our custom program video that we worked on all of last year. And we launched that about maybe a month ago.
Yeah, a month or 2 ago. Yeah.
And it's awesome. So it really shows like how someone buys their equipment, plays in that equipment, retires from the game, and then they find us, and we have these pieces made for them and the family. And it's just really touching, like to sort of see like the whole life process of like how we take the gear from, his playing days and turn it into something special that's given to the family.
Kind of carry on with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's, and we've had some amazing custom pieces that have had some really significant value of, a deceased family member. Maybe it's, these are my dad's, goalie pads from his high school days. So there's been a lot of like stories that are tied into those pieces that make them really special when they're given to the individual.
And that's one thing that we really didn't even think about when we started this. We were just like, we got an email from a lady that wanted custom stuff done. It was her dad's pads, or it was pads, I believe. Made some stuff for him. He didn't know about it, and she gave it to him for Christmas, and I guess he was like completely breaking down, like in so much joy because of the
I've
gear.
never seen my dad cry.
Yeah,
Completely
and like when we got that email, and we were just like, holy cow! Like it took us back. We were just like, we didn't think that it would have the tug on the heart that these pieces do.
An old hockey guy, I can't imagine that guy crying.
Yeah,
right? Like,
so we're just like, holy smokes. So I mean, hey, it ties in nicely, and it's just.
And we take amazing. A lot of pride in sort of like what we do, like from a social media standpoint, how the pieces are made. Like everything is done crisp. Like that's been our biggest thing, is making sure, like, we're sort of like really meticulous just in general with how we run everything.
Yeah.
But even from our leather team, like I said, they're like true artists. They really are. And that, I don't think you see a lot of things handmade anymore. I think a lot of stuff is like mass production.
Right.
And these are all made right here in Michigan, right here in Grand Rapids. So to have that, U.S. tie, made in America, made in Michigan, made right here, locally in Grand Rapids, there's a lot to that. And I think people appreciate that, because you just don't see that too often.
Right.
And a lot of people don't like to work with their hands anymore. So to see these pieces, they are truly one-of-one works of art, very special, unique. And so we actually brought some pieces for you guys. These are for you guys to have as a little thank you for having us on the show.
Awesome.
So and again, it's just one of those things where when you look at each of the pieces, because we have, I think, 6-7 different wallet styles, and each one is different, so that's why I think we have a lot of repeat customers from, with the color stitching that we use, the color of the leather that we use, maybe the goalie pad that it came from. Maybe it's a National Hockey League goalie that they really, idolize and resonate with that team. So it's pretty cool to sort of see like how those repeat customers come back, because we've done probably almost 8,000 orders since 2019. So that's a lot of orders to us, being a small business, and it's just him and I. We have our team of, leather craftsmen, but him and I are sort of like the forefront of the business.
Okay.
And it's just, it's amazing to sort of see, like when we go to the Griffins game, we have a table at the Griffins game, and we have a lot of people that come up there and they'll like pull their wallet out and like, hey, look I have one of your wallets, and like that means a lot to us. Like they're
really
like,
cool.
They're proud to, like, it's a conversation piece.
So you said a lot of your business is repeat and referral, but how do you get the word out? Like, do you have a YouTube channel or social media, or how do people find out about you originally?
Honestly, it was just all Instagram and
Okay.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were more targeting like goalies in general, because we were using strictly goalie equipment when we first started.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of just blew up. Like it literally blew up, and we were just like, "Holy cow! What did we
I think
create?"
we launched on May 29th of 2019, and we had, I think we had 4 goalie pads. I don't even know if we had our glove and blockers out at the time.
Yeah, we did.
It was
Pretty
very
sure.
limited. We couldn't have had more than 200-300 pieces at most. We had a couple keychains, maybe watch bands, and the site crashed because we launched at midnight. I don't know why. We launched at midnight, and the site crashed. Like, our web guy's like, "Oh, there's too many people on. Like, we didn't buy enough like bandwidth to hold that many people on when we first started." So like he was scrambling. We got it up, and like we're like, I think we're onto something here.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
It truly is. And now we'll do our collection drops, and then there's, like we'll turn it. So we turn off the website like 48 hours before it goes live. So the website says it's like coming soon. There's a countdown clock, and when it goes live, there's like, you can see all the people that are on the website, how many active carts there are, and it's, there's
It shoots up to like 400 or 500 people all at once.
All
We're
at
like,
once.
Holy smokes!
That's really cool. Do you guys have the capacity to get bigger, or are you kind of where you want to be right now?
That's the thing, is that we're hockey. We're always talking about like how can we take the next step with the company. Obviously, there's other sporting venues with baseball and football.
Yeah, lots of baseball.
Absolutely,
leather out
absolutely. But we're hockey. We're hockey. We're really passionate about what we do within the hockey industry.
Know your lane.
We know our lane. We know our language.
Yep.
So we can resonate with hockey fans immediately just because of that's who we are. We've played hockey all of our lives. We've been in rinks all of our lives. So to sit down and talk hockey with somebody, it's like a common language.
Yeah.
Baseball, football, soccer, it's just, like you said, it's not really in our lane. Not saying we would never do it, because I think it'd be a fun project to like see how the company can expand in different avenues down those like different sports paths. But for right now, hockey has definitely been our focus. I think our biggest focus is like really driving with the National Hockey League teams, because we have a lot of National Hockey League teams that have their team stores within the arenas. Like Detroit, they did probably close to 300 pieces for their Hockey Town Authentics shop last year. We did Nashville Predators for the Pekka Rinne jersey retirement. So they had all their stuff through their Preds Foundation. They're doing a second round of stuff that's going to be in January back at their arena. We're working with the Chicago Blackhawks. Hopefully we can lock that down pretty soon. And then the LA Kings just got stuff for Crypto Arena in September.
Okay. So when this all started, did you think it would be where it is today, or like where did you think you would be now
Not even
when you
close.
started?
Absolutely not. No, like I literally did not imagine it being this far in advance that we are now, and like especially with how fast we grew. Like even from year 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, like the growth has just been incredible and like beyond my expectations. When I first started with Joe doing this, I was like, how did we even get here?
Yeah, that's
and
go through the pandemic. That's been the other. It's it was tough during the pandemic, as you see some of these smaller businesses closing up shop, letting their employees go. And to be honest, we were the opposite. We were like, people were at home, they're buying online. We have an online store. I mean, we were able to provide products, and I always say, like, someone's they pull their wallet out of their back pocket and they're happy to show it to somebody. So it has like some feeling to it. Like this is a pretty special piece.
Yeah,
it's a conversation piece.
Well,
so,
hockey fans in general are just super loyal and into their gear, their players, their team,
Absolutely,
and they want to support it in any way they can, right?
Absolutely.
I'm a Griffins fan mainly because of my kids, but we've been to several games, and there's this one guy that we met. His name is Bill, and Bill actually has been sitting in the same seat in the Griffins arena for 25 years.
Wow.
So as long as the Griffins have been playing there, he's been in that seat, and
that's incredible.
he's at every game. Like we now are friends. We text once in a while.
Very cool.
But he's such a into his sport. But then there's probably 50 of those guys at the Van Andel, right? That are that passionate, that been season ticket holders for a super long time, and they're just they have their sport and they're into it, and they want to support it in any way they can.
I think the Griffins have done an amazing job of just staying in the community of Grand Rapids, because they've been here for so long, and where you see other teams come and go in the American Hockey League, because it is like a minor league affiliate to the National Hockey League, so they may move them around, but Grand Rapids has been home, with the Detroit Red Wings for many, many years. And I think they were with maybe the Ottawa Senators for a little bit, probably in the late 90s or 2000s. But it's just been amazing to see, because there is loyal fans. There's a loyalty to the Griffins. And you go to a game on a Friday, Saturday, and you're like, holy smokes, there's 8,000 people here.
Filled up.
It's filled up. And that we've done, I think we're going to be doing New Year's. We'll set up a table in the concourse, and it's packed. Like, people, they'll come to our booth, and it's they've been to the game in the past and have seen us, and they follow us on social media, and it's cool to have those relationships with people, because it's like they're your friends within Grand Rapids. It's like a little community.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Just because we're a strictly online company, like, we try to get out in the community, whether that be at the Griffins game or any conventions. We try to get out there to get our name out there and our products, and interact with our customers too, instead of just being behind a computer.
Yeah.
So. The big one we go to, so we have we're actually going to be going to Minnesota. They have the high school hockey championships in Minnesota. It's in March, and they fill up the XL Energy Center, so that's where the Minnesota Wild play. So there's 22,000 people at these high school games.
Okay.
And in conjunction with the high school tournament, they have a big trade show convention with all the equipment manufacturers, just different hockey schools and prep schools. There's probably 100 to 150 vendors on the floor in general. And it's just awesome. Like, you're with your people, for the weekend. But it's just the crowd there. I think they have over 100,000 people that come through the show on the weekend. And it just makes it's a pretty fun event. We went there before COVID, and it was awesome. And we haven't gone back since. So we're going back this year, this upcoming March. So we're pretty geeked up for it.
So as passionate as fans are, parents are super passionate also. Yeah. My child actually plays hockey, and he's visually impaired. Mm-hmm. And there's actually a national Blind Hockey Association, and they do a once-a-year convention, kind of moves around. We went to the one in Chicago. I know there was one in Boston, but that's I know hockey fans travel and they're passionate about their sport. So why'd you pick Grand Rapids? Like, what brought you here?
Well, you go, because you're born and raised here.
Yeah, I'm born and raised here.
By default, then.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yep. So, and I mean, I've been on the ice since I was 3, and I still haven't gotten off of it. So,
it's in your blood.
Yep, pretty much. So, just I can't imagine us having our company anywhere else than here, especially with our leather team being here in
Not
Grand
Hawaii,
Rapids.
a warm climate.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Move it to a warm climate.
Yeah.
Everybody's got
and just
with
be
snow.
able to take vacations,
yeah,
right?
Right. It's just nice to be able to pop into our leather shop and like check in and see the progress and, say hi and, just it's been really nice having them right in our backyard, basically.
Yeah. So why Grand Rapids for you? Like, what brought
So
you
I'm
here?
originally from Grosse Pointe on the east side.
All right.
And my first job out of college, I happened to get a job here in Grand Rapids, believe it or not. And I was here for about a month or so, met my wife, got job relocated to Minnesota for about a year, and I was like, I just don't like the corporate world. So I dropped out of the corporate world. I have a few other hockey businesses that I own with another business partner, and it's almost been 20 years, on my own, doing my own self-employed businesses in the hockey industry. And like Zach said, I mean, Grand Rapids is such a family-oriented place. Like, I went to college in New York. I'm from, the east side in Detroit. Like, here is just a little bit slower pace, and it's a great place to raise a family. It really is.
So where in Grand Rapids do you live?
Granville.
Okay. So tell me about Granville. Like, why would somebody want to move there?
Good school system. There's a local mall. They have the big castle, I think it's a big condo complex.
Apartments,
yeah. That's a big
the Grand Castle.
The Grand Castle. There's that, But it just in general, it's like a historical town in Grand Rapids because it's been there for so long. There's a lot of tradition and it's a beautiful area. Like, I live by Millennium Park, Johnson Park, so there's beautiful parks.
We're pretty close then.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area. There's you can go to Johnson Park or Millennium Park, run, bike ride, fish. It's just a quaint little place. It really is. Like, rather than like the hustle and bustle of like Chicago or New York, like it's a really quaint little town within the city of Grand Rapids. It really is. So I'm sort of glad that everything happens for a reason. Like, when I moved here to Grand Rapids, I lived downtown.
Yeah.
And just to see downtown, how downtown Grand Rapids has like developed over the years. Because I moved here in 2002 after I graduated college.
Totally different city 20 years ago.
I mean, downtown was like completely undeveloped. I don't even think there was much really going on downtown.
Yeah.
And then to see where it has, where it sits today with, microbreweries, the different restaurants, the Bob, like the DeVos Hall, like Van Andel, like there's so much down there. It is truly a special place. And it, even though it's the second largest city in Michigan,
it doesn't feel that way.
It doesn't. It's really a family. It's a really unique place. And like Art Prize is down there. It's just, it's got a real unique vibe to it. It really does. And in a good way. It really does. They've done a good job down there.
So what about you, Zach? Like, where do you live, and tell me about that.
I live in Walker.
Okay.
I've lived in Walker. I actually moved out of Michigan for a year and moved down to Texas with my wife.
Okay.
We were dating then, but
what brought you to Texas?
She was living down there.
Okay.
She was down there for a few years. She went from Michigan to Florida to Texas, and then I brought her back to Michigan.
Well, good for her.
Yeah. So she doesn't like the snow though. So, but yeah, I live in Walker. I've been living there since 2013.
So you've been Grand Rapids your whole life. Where did you go to high school?
Kennewick Hills.
Oh,
yep,
awesome.
Kennewick Hills High School.
I have a cousin that went to Kennewick and played hockey.
Okay.
So do you know Ryan? No. All right.
Probably not.
Maybe you did.
Maybe I do.
Okay.
So.
So yeah, they're all hockey people.
Okay.
And I didn't know that. They all played hockey in high school, and Kennewick Hills is big into hockey.
Yeah,
so
yeah, they
awesome.
are. Yep, it's definitely. I think hockey in general in West Michigan has definitely grown. I mean, obviously, you got Hockey Town in Detroit. They call Grand Rapids Hockey Town West. So, hockey has definitely grown pretty big in Grand Rapids and the surrounding areas. But yeah, I've been in Grand Rapids pretty much my whole life, besides a year.
So you moved out to Texas and you came back to where you kind of grew up. Like why did you go back to Walker instead of maybe a different area in Grand Rapids?
We like the Northwest side.
Okay.
That's where I was born and raised, and I just wanted to stay on the Northwest side. It's and Walker's kind of more like up and coming and a really clean family city that we really enjoy.
You're by the ice cream depot too.
Double Dip Depot.
There you go. We're pretty close,
Yeah,
actually.
so.
I live like Michigan Drive in Colville.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right around the corner. So we're frequent flyers there 2 or 3 times a week. So we meet up with our neighbors and we go over there a couple times. And
great place. So
within 10 minutes of 2 ice rinks, right? Like Belknap and Walker Ice Arena.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
So
yeah. So what would you say to somebody like thinking about moving to the Grand Rapids area?
Like Joe said, it's a very family-oriented area, and I would say I don't want to say super religious, but like there's churches everywhere, which is great. Having that community within that aspect of life, it's really nice to have around. But it's really just a clean area, So it's you're proud to call it home.
So, what you said community, what kind of things do you do for the community or with your business in ways that you support the community or get out there? Like, tell me about that.
We've actually done a few things with, what was it, the Van Andel Institute?
Yep, with our breast cancer
with
collection.
the breast cancer collection. So we did like, I think it was a Jimmy Howard glove from his breast cancer awareness equipment that he had.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was white and pink. So we made pieces out of that, and we were able to give back a portion of those proceeds to the Van Andel Institute to help them out. I think we've done a couple other things. The Warson Foundation.
Yeah, so he's a fallen Navy. David Warson, he's a fallen Navy SEAL who he was killed in the line of duty in Afghanistan. So he has a foundation that they do a big event in the summertime. So we did that when we first started in 2019. But going back to the Van Andel Institute, it's amazing because we actually ended up, when we were working with them, we were able to go on site, and the lady took us for a tour of the building, and it's like, that's in Grand Rapids. It's like, holy smokes. Like that is, like there's some of the most well-recognized scientists in the world. I think there's one from Germany that works there who's like one of the top 10 scientists, and he's right in there. And it's like, right in your backyard.
It's crazy to think that, right? Like, I grew up here too, and that whole area is really developed. The Van Andel Institute wasn't there. The Sakia Center, the Children's Hospital.
That
like
whole,
we're in such a good spot
beautiful.
for healthcare and medical research.
Like my daughter broke her arm a few years back, and we brought her to the Children's Hospital, DeVos Children's Hospital. I mean, it was like first class. Like right when you pulled up, I mean, it was like clockwork. I mean, I even told my wife, I was like, I almost feel like we should like write them a letter, tip them, like holy smokes, it was first class from start to finish. So, and I know there's some individuals that are there that go to that hospital on a regular basis that have sick children.
Yep.
Like that is another piece in Grand Rapids, having a hospital like that. We both have kids.
Yeah.
Obviously yourself as well. Like what an amazing piece to have in Grand Rapids, like a recognized hospital for children. And it's right in your backyard. So I know that they take the medical very seriously here in Grand Rapids, because you do have a couple of the universities have their own medical facilities downtown Grand Rapids, and it's state of the art.
Yeah, my wife actually works at the Children's Hospital. She's
Really?
been there for 15 years.
Wow.
So. Oh yeah,
Yep.
I wonder if they know each other.
Possibly.
All right, 7th floor.
She was on the 7th floor at Butterworth, but now she's in the Children's Hospital doing human milk technite. So she's
Probably
making
floor.
feeds for babies.
Yep.
So
I think she's they recently brought up like heart babies, kids with that kind of, but then it was trauma before, so like
Really?
accidental bone breaks and stuff like that.
I think she's on the 3rd floor.
It's a big place,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, it's beautiful. Like I said, to go there, obviously when you're stressed because your child's obviously injured. Or if someone else goes there and their child's sick, but they just took care of us. Like I was really impressed, and I'd never have been there. If that was the first time when that happened, and to sort of see how their staff was truly remarkable. It really was.
I think we were in there with my kid for 3 or 4 days. So
Well, we've spent a lot of time in the Children's Hospital, so they've been top notch.
Top notch, absolutely.
So, can I open these?
Absolutely. We brought one for. We didn't know how many staff members you guys were going to have. Jeremy, we have one for you too, buddy.
Could we give one of these away? Maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So I don't want to rip the box.
Nope. Yep, just like that. Just open it right.
These are fancy. Puck. I'm going to show the camera. So, wow, you were right. This is super fancy. I don't think I have time to open all of these. This is a process, but. So this is one of your wallets?
Yeah, so that one came from Anton Khudobin's goalie pad. So that one would be from when he played for the Houston Aeros.
Yep.
In the American Hockey League.
/ Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, so that was when he was with the Minnesota Wild. And so that just, we just put a, business card in there, a sticker, hockey card, and that's just a keychain. But one of the unique things about the two pieces of leather that's actually used on that, the keychain and then also the wallet. So we use a tannery out of Chicago called Horween Leather, and it's one of the most recognized
oldest tanneries
in North America.
Yeah.
So how did you know the story of this wallet? Is it on a card in here, or how
no,
did somebody else know
so
that?
On our website we have. So if you were on our website and you looked up that particular wallet, you'd see where it came from. There's a little blurb about the goalie, where he played. You can see where that piece of wallet where it was harvested from the actual goalie pads. So we do a lot of photography. So Zach, he's a guru with the photography and the editing, and that's one of the things that we take pride in is the website. Being that we don't have a brick and mortar store, the website is just top notch. It's got a lot of real high end photos. But nowadays, you really need that because people, they're on their phones or on their tablets or computers, and they're just searching around. So we have a really good foot traffic of just people going to our. We probably get anywhere from 300-400 people a day to over 1,000 people a day, and it's just such a niche, specific market that when people are on it, they spend anywhere from 2 minutes to 5-6 minutes just browsing around, looking at things, and. I think it goes back to the actual pictures, and it just sort of you get tied up looking at everything. You're like, holy smokes, I just been on here for 5 minutes just looking at leather goods.
So, is it 3 wallets that you brought in?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I bought some wallets and some keychains. So yeah, by all means, if you want to give one away.
How about Jeremy picks one, I pick one,
yeah,
and then we'll give away the third one to whoever goes and follows you guys on Instagram.
Absolutely.
And then also subscribes to our YouTube channel and then emails Jeremy. So
yeah, absolutely.
We'll let him figure that out. But I think that'd be a really cool thing.
Perfect.
So what did your family and friends think when you had this idea to recycle leather and turn it into works of art?
I don't know. I think they were like, wait, what are you doing? Because, that in the hockey world, there's other people that sort of do what we do, I guess maybe on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
They may make
onesie, twosie.
Yeah, like an Etsy style. We wouldn't really call ourselves Etsy. I mean, our team's making 1,000 pieces.
Yeah,
they're making
way bigger than Etsy.
So this is, I think when we first started, they're like, all right, go get them. Good job. Good luck. And I think they're like, oh, wow, this is actually a full business model. This is something that has grown into.
I honestly think we were the first ones probably in the world to do goalie equipment with what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't think really anyone's ever. I mean, maybe they have. I mean, I just don't think they've gone on to the scale to do the social media, and that's from a social media standpoint, we've grown from. We have over 20,000 followers on Instagram. We got 15,000 followers on Facebook. Our email list, we got close to 10,000 people on our email list. So for us, it's you put stuff out there, it's people just gravitate to it. We, like Zach talked about the golf line that we started, and we do a lot of that in-house. Zach last winter learned how to sew. Yep. So
awesome.
So now he's our official golf club sewer. Yeah. So it's amazing because, we bought this beautiful machine and we're making some amazing pieces, and people are getting these golf club covers are like, this is amazing. These are better than the ones that are sold in the stores, and they have a story behind them.
So are you guys still involved in the hockey community? Do you coach or have kids that play?
Yep, absolutely. Besides goalie coaching, all around West Michigan with Hope College as their goalie coach. I've been there since 2017. And my kid actually started skating a couple years ago. He's 5. He's now doing learn to play and hopefully getting our 2-year-old on skates soon.
He's going to be a goalie, though. That's the question.
Yeah.
Are they going to be any?
He probably will be.
Yes.
Were you a goalie?
I was a goalie
we were
all my
goalies.
life.
Okay.
Yep.
Both goalies.
Yep. So, and they say goalies are weird, but I feel like we're pretty normal.
We are definitely normal. There's some interesting goalies that are out there.
Do you guys play in like beer leagues at all?
I used to.
That's what they call them, right?
Yeah, they call it beer league.
I used to, but it's just I have no time for it, and it's just way too much going on in life. So
a few years ago, there was actually a guy that was an agent in our office. He's since moved on. Dan Harland actually
we know Dan real well.
Got called up to play for the Griffins.
Yeah,
That was
Dan
so
real
cool.
well.
we talk to him on a regular basis, pretty much. So.
Okay.
Yeah, he was probably one of our first people that bought a wallet.
Yeah. Yep.
And because he was with, I forget which news channel at the time.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting us with that news channel. They did like a special on us, and he's been following us ever since. We were on a different podcast last year, and he was on with us actually.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. I
just ran into him Saturday at the rink. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got to catch up with him. I haven't seen him.
He's a good man. So. Really good man. Because I think he was he in Chicago?
He's from Chicago, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good man.
So you've been hockey your pretty much entire lives, right? But what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't doing this right now?
Oh, goodness.
Well, I started off out of college with Black & Decker and DeWalt Power Tools, and that's how I got moved here.
The corporate world?
The corporate world. And I like making my own schedule. I like sort of being home with my family. I like working from our studio. I don't know. I just wouldn't see it any other way. I don't know. I couldn't sit at a desk.
What about you, Zach?
Believe it or not, this is not my only thing that I do. I
right.
have a normal full-time job as well.
Awesome.
Yep. So I'm always going and never home almost. So it's definitely.
But somehow your kids are skating and making it out on the ice at 5 years old.
He's the best dad. I always give him a hard time. He's a good dad.
I try. Honestly, I would probably still be doing what I'm doing just without this, I guess.
Okay.
So nothing would really change, I think. So, I mean, hockey's still in my blood and in my everyday life. So it's just adding another piece to the puzzle, I guess.
Yeah. My kid's grandpa actually is super into hockey too. And he's now 70 years old. He just stopped playing
really?
In the league that he was in. But he... super passionate. He was like a cheerleader almost for my kids getting into it. He's like, that's awesome. So, it's hockey. I think stays in your blood most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not something that just goes away.
Yeah, for sure.
So, is there anything I missed that maybe you guys like want to share that I didn't ask you?
I think one of the things I saw on the sheet was, what if you could tell someone like a young 18-year-old boy or someone that's in college, like. Maybe that is in business, So if
you could go back and if you were 18 again, what would you do differently, or what would you tell yourself then to better prepare for your future, knowing what you know now?
Just go. Just like it's no different than that conversation him and I had back in 2018, 2019 when we started this was like, what are we waiting for?
Yeah.
Like why you'll always live with regret if you never go for it and do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, in 25 years look back and be like, man, we should have done that. And then probably someone else would have done it.
Yeah.
It's just, and I feel like there's a lot of people like, well, I had that idea. Well, you didn't do it.
My grandma had a few of those crazy ideas. I think her first idea was bulletproof vest for dogs. And turns out they ended up doing that.
Of course.
Probably 5 or 6 years after she had the idea, which I don't know where she got that idea, but it was hers originally. So
I just look back at, even just kids nowadays, social media and like how our society is. And, there's different types of pressures of like, should I do something, if God forbid if I fail, because, now if someone fails, they don't feel like they're going to achieve their goal. But it might take. There's like a quote for like maybe Thomas Edison or like with the light bulb, like he failed 1,000 times, but that 1,001 time it worked.
failure is such an important part of life, right?
It is.
Like you got to fail a few times to know like what doesn't work, right? And hopefully find what your true calling is. So
I look back at like even just the creation of our wallets. If you would have looked at our first collection back in 2019, it was just like plain Jane, just normal wallet. Now our team makes these extravagant, beautiful, like just because they learn as they go. And there's been some failure along the way designing certain things. And like we've come up with things. Some have worked, some haven't. But you just keep sort of like moving forward. And you sort of just, at the end of the day, you sort of just follow your dream and you sort of follow your passion. And it sort of takes you, I mean, it's in our blood. Hockey's in our blood. So we're speaking that language. So we're just being passionate about what we love on a daily basis.
Right? It definitely shows that you guys are passionate about what you do and that you believe in it, and you're running with it, right?
Absolutely.
Your packaging, your product, all of it's amazing. So
thank you.
Anything else you want to share, Zach?
As far as that goes, like the 18-year-old self, like I went to college like here and there. I mean, I went to LCC for a semester, and then I played hockey there for a little bit. I went to GRCC for a little bit as well, and then ended up ultimately going to Davenport for a year. And really, I was like, I went to college first just to play hockey more, not really for the schooling. And then I was like, okay, I should probably do something with schooling, and went to CC, and I was like, you know what? And then I got a calling to play at Davenport just out of the blue, just funny story.
You need a goalie.
Yeah. Well, long story short, it was in men's league, and I played well, and they asked me to be on their team. Okay. So I ended up playing for Davenport then. So I was really just going back to school to play hockey again because I missed it, and figured, hey, I can get an education as well. But I mean, looking back, like, you don't really need school to do what you want to do. If you just want to dive in and start your own business, go for it.
I've told a lot of people that.
You don't need school for it. It's your real life interactions and your trials and everything you go through. Like, that's, I think, speaks more than sitting at a desk and listening to a teacher. Yeah. So, and like, not saying school is not important, but
it's not for everybody.
Yeah. So that's about it.
Yeah. I really appreciate you guys coming in today and sharing your story and sharing your awesome products with us. And we'll come up with something to give one of those away. I think that'll be really cool to get the word out there for you guys. And just appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Right. Thank you for watching this episode of the Small Talk Podcast with the Smallegan Real Estate Team. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our earlier episodes.